Evening, everybody. We are just getting started here. So if you are live with us, say hi. Let us know you are watching. Callie's sharing. I'm kind of prepping some talking points for myself here, and then we'll get started in a bit here. But if you're live with us, please help us share. We have such an amazing show for you guys tonight. A lot of talk about healing and the different types of healing, which I think, with COVID and stuff, I think this is a topic that we all kind of need to hear and kind of have a conversation about. So it's going to be an important one. So if you're live with us, say hi. Let us know where you're watching us from. We love giving shout outs at the beginning. And then, of course, if you can please help share as well. And we'll get started here in a little bit. I know there were a lot of you talking about setting your alarm clocks and making sure that you want to tune in to this conversation. So if you know who those people are, make sure you tag them if they're not already in here with us. It's currently 7:03 our time. So we'll get started here in a few minutes. Hi, Nuna. How are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll get started here in a bit. And if you are live, please share. Callie's quiet because she's sharing away. And I'm trying to think about things we need to update you guys on. And then when Callie and I are ready, I can give you guys a quick update. Ooh, my kids are super loud outside, so I don't know if you guys can hear them or not, but I had to kick them off the internet, so I'm not blurry this time around. Peachy Her, hello, how are you? Hi, Chai, thank you for watching. Hi, Uno Queen. Hi, Sophia. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, that's good. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to read Hmong, so I may butcher your name, but thank you so much for tuning in from Wisconsin. Is it Zai Su? I think. Chi, hi Chi, how are you? Again, if you are just tuning in, we have an awesome show for you guys tonight talking about healing and the different types of healing. So if you can please help share, this is a conversation that I know many can probably benefit from. And then, of course, let us know where you're watching us from. We'll get started in a second here. Hi, Paku. How are you from LA? Oh, I'm so jealous of the weather down there right now. It's been raining a lot in Oregon. It's kind of like and then Chandu and then Lona and then Chandu, but it's been kind of hailing the last couple days and like raining quite a bit where I'm at least. So let's see what else. Okay. Ellie, almost ready?
Almost, yeah. Let me just put a comment.
Okay. Sophia says, I heard you all got snow too a few weeks ago. We did. It was so crazy. Where I live, we got like a good, 6 or 7 inches. But in the Portland like metro area, I'm a little bit more outskirts because I live in the countryside. But they didn't get a lot of snow, but we got a ton. So I was excited that I at least was in New York during that off and on snowing and raining piece. But right before I left, we did get a ton of snow. We've got Dana Vu from Michigan. Hello, Dana. Thank you so much for tuning in. 70 degrees in LA. Yes, it's a very jealous. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm your co-host, Olivia.
I'm Callie.
And before we kind of get started, there are some updates that we want to give you guys an update on. So Callie and I are currently vetting our bachelor application. So just kind of want to give you guys an update on that. If you guys didn't see the post, we did put one up that we are currently talking to the ones who've made it through to the interview round. And so we've been meeting and talking to everybody. So, once we make a selection or once we're ready to announce who our bachelor is for our Finding Love series, we will make that announcement. We've also got the Mother's Day message. Due date for that is on Friday. So Callie put a message out today. So if you want to send your mom a message, please feel free to click on the link in the post that she did put out and submit your message. I mean, it's really just what information we're collecting, just like name and whatever message it is that you are wanting to send. And I think that's it. So, 應經營嘅朋友，但是咪要係錄住我哋用你嘅操作先 okay? Because we do really want the message to be genuine. And if you are writing it in Hmong, we will try our best to read it. And if we can't, we will call each other. And if that don't work, we will then call other people who know how to actually read Hmong to kind of help us out. But nonetheless, we will do our best to read your message and kind of put it out on our social media platform. So,
and we'll try to read them all before Mother's Day, but depending on like how many we get, right, it might be a little bit harder for us too. So again, it's dependent. Would love to try to do it all before, but if there's a lot, then we'll have to kind of space them out throughout the month.
Yeah, because if we're talking like by Mother's Day, more like week suit, right? Just 1 week, but nonetheless, like we will try our best, we promise. And then of course, y'all, we still have the Love Vault going. We've been getting applications in. We've been so busy. We haven't really had time to kind of sit down and again look through the application, start the matching process. But we've been traveling and doing a whole bunch of stuff. So I promise there's that. So if you know anybody who is interested in single and looking for kind of like blind dates, that's what we're really doing. We're setting people up on a blind date. We're matching them based on the information they provide us. And so there's that. You can also have your single friends, or if you're single yourself, put in an application for that.
And the Love Vault is it's really great because it's low commitment, right? It's one-time commitment. It's not like you have to sign up and then like take all of your time for the next several months, which is what Finding Love is. It's a little bit more intense, but more, like we spend more time working on that. And then for the Love Vault, again, one-off, right? You do it one time, and if you're like, I'm not feeling this, or you're like, I still want to stay in the vault, then definitely it's a fun way to meet people, to put yourself out there without putting yourself too much out there. So just a great chance to just jump in.
Absolutely. And then the last thing I want to kind of just do another touch base on is our contestant application. Kelly and I did make the application process, like make the application available now. I know there were some comments addressing like, why did we put it out now? Like, we should wait until we've selected the bachelor. But honestly, I think if you're ready, you're ready. And what's kind of just like trust the process, take a leap of faith, and just put it in, right? And so that's why we put it out without actually announcing who the bachelor is yet. But honestly, like if you look at the Mika version, they're just collecting a pool of people. But then again, there's a lot more different last names than I know with our Hmong culture. We only have 18 clans, so I understand the concern. But I think for us, it's really just opening the pool to even see if there are women out there who's actually interested, and is it really worth us investing thousands of dollars, because that's it's an expensive hobby of ours to kind of put forward up like our own money to do the series, right, for just entertainment purposes and really helping our brothers and sisters find love too. So there's all of that good stuff happening. And so obviously Callie and I will continue to post and keep you guys updated on all the things that we're working on and things that are happening. So any other updates, Callie?
No, just that you can always support us by subscribing. You can subscribe on YouTube, and you can also be a supporter subscriber on Facebook. You can always send stars while we're live in the show. I always put that on the bottom, and then always sharing, commenting, and engaging with our posts. All of those things really do help us. So if you can't, like if you feel like I can't subscribe, I just don't have that in my budget, you can still definitely share, engage. All of that really helps us. And then just before I introduce the guest, just a disclaimer that, we both know Nancy and John, and we are not saying that you need to follow them and that everything tonight is, you should take that to heart and start that practice. I would say, just like any practitioner, I think that you really have to vet them out and talk to them and see if they're a good fit for you. And so really tonight's episode is really for y'all to like get to know what energy healing is, the different types of energy healing that Nancy and John does, and then look into it and then reach out to them if you so feel the need to learn more about it, and see if they are practitioners that you would really, want to incorporate into your healing process. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guests, and both of these individuals have, I'm going to read everything just because I just feel like it's super important to know.
Yeah, you can't summarize that.
Yes, like this super qualified, like with not just the energy healing, but like everything that they do. So I really want to just kind of like pay some respect to the work that they both do. All right, so we're going to start with Nancy. So Nancy is an economic and community development leader supporting startups and small businesses with a local nonprofit. By night, she's a writer, creative artist, and Reiki energy healing practitioner. Nancy is a new Minnesotan. Prior to Minnesota, Nancy lived in the East Coast and worked in higher education, where she plans programs and events, advises, and fearlessly teaches young folks on issues of social justice, women and gender issues, and healthy relationships for 6 years. Nancy has incorporated storytelling using different mediums, which has been a healing tool in her classes and workshops, as well as her community work. In addition, she has been trained as an intercultural trainer through SIT Graduate Institute and Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Trainer and facilitator through the National Coalition Building Institute. Moreover, Nancy has extensive experience in the field of gender-based violence as an educator, advocate, and research for more than 10 years at the local, national, and international level. One common thread that she has found in her work is that in any kind of traumatic experience, a person's mental health, well-being, and healing process is an ongoing journey. Through her own healing journey, she has discovered arts, crafts, writing, and storytelling to be powerful tools to move beyond the pain to live an authentic and well-being life. Nancy holds dual master's degrees in social justice and intercultural relations and sociology with a certificate in women and gender studies. She is a certified Reiki healing energy practitioner and enjoys working with community members on their healing journey. When Nancy is not practicing, she enjoys spending time with her family, running around with her nieces and nephews, volunteering, and making art. So that is just about Nancy. If any of this resonates with you, if there's something that, I mentioned that you're really interested in, please drop it in the comments or reach out to her. We'll do like, just their contact information at the end. But if any of that resonates with you and you want to reach out to her, definitely reach out and she can talk more about the specifics on anything that we don't cover tonight. All right. And then we have John. So John is a shaman and I think it's Kui. I totally forgot. Kui energy healer. He has been a practitioner in helping the community for 5 years. He is a certified meditation, mindfulness, mental wellness teacher, and life coach. He is also a U.S. Air Force certified resiliency trainer assistant. His other professional community service are board chair of the Minnesota Hmong Chamber of Commerce, which has been doing great things that I've seen. Board member of the Minneapolis Chamber of Commerce and Veterans Housing Organization. His dedication and passion to help others have led him onto the spiritual divine path. For his profession, he is the owner and CEO of Vision SEO, a digital marketing company. He is also currently still serving in the U.S. Air Force. And so with that, I'm going to bring them both on.
Hi, everyone. You're Xiong.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Kali and Olivia, for having us.
Yeah. I was like talking to myself because I was muted and I realized I was muted. But thank you guys so much for being on this show. We really appreciate your guys' time and coming on and wanting to talk to us and our audience members about just kind of sharing what you guys are doing and what it actually, what the benefits are to that. So thank you so much for being on our show today.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. Yes.
All right. So Callie just did a really robust introduction of you guys, but we did want to give an opportunity for you guys to just kind of talk about yourself and introduce yourself, but how would you kind of like describe yourself? Or is there anything else that Callie didn't mention that you would like to to mention?
You want to start first, John?
I can start first. I mean,
Okay,
besides
go for it.
being a queer energy healer, I consider myself like a light worker. And what is a light worker? A light worker is just someone who is righteous, who does good deeds, who has compassion to help others, and want to make a difference to the world, and have a positive impact. Having good moral values, holding myself to a higher standard, being a positive role model, and in order for me to help people, I have to be pure at heart, right? Because if I don't have good energy, how am I going to help others, right? So that's what I see myself as a light worker, a warrior, protector, fighter of light. That's why I'm in the military. I like doing martial arts and physical activity, stuff like that. So um, that's what I consider myself.
Yeah, thank you, John, and thank you, Kelly, for the wonderful introduction. In addition to her introduction, I am a sister. I'm an auntie. Hello to Scarlett, Jackson, and Violet, I think who's watching tonight. To my sisters, and my family. But I am, in addition to that, I'm also, let's see, I'm an auntie. I'm also a community organizer. And I'm a U.S. born individual to Hmong parents who are farmers. And historically, healing or shamanism, that's something that I was not interested in until like a couple of years ago. And I can go more into it. I'm very sensitive to energy too. And so I will consider myself as an empath, and I will consider myself as a light worker too. And so it's been a wonderful journey. So thank you.
All right. So a lot of times I think that when we seek to heal, I think it really starts with our own journey of healing ourselves, and then finding that there's also people who are trying to heal, right? And I think that in this stage of our life where, like I think that now we're kind of looking inward and introspecting. And so curious to know if there was a pivotal point in your life that started you on this journey.
Okay, it sounds like it's gonna be me first, but
Go for it, John.
I could probably say that when I was still living in Cali, I tore my Achilles, right, and a 1 hour procedure ended up a 1 week in the hospital because they had put me to sleep and took out my breathing tube too early. So I had taken fluid into my lungs. I was choking, and I think I had my near death situation at that time, and that probably was when I had my spiritual awakening. And then I was living by myself at that time, and that's what I had to move back home to Rhode Island. And from Rhode Island, that's after I recovered, I decided to try Minnesota out instead of California. So that's kind of how I got started with my journey. And from there on, I just kind of met the right people at the right time. Spiritual awakening, meaning, I was seeing signs, I was seeing numbers, having dreams. Those are part of the spiritual awakening where you feel that there's something like the universe is trying to connect to you, something's trying to wake you up. And you look into it, you search into it to see what these signs are. And I think it was kind of pointing me to this path. And I was just thinking, if I was married, I had kids. If I had kids and if I was already married, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have joined the military. I wouldn't have moved to Minnesota. So I really believe that everything happens for a reason to bring me to Minnesota here today. So I feel that that's my pivotal point in terms of when I started my journey.
Yeah, thank you, John. Mine was not physically related. It was very emotional, psychological related. It started in 2018, Christmas of 2018, 2019, when I attended the Hmong New Year in California, Fresno, California, and I found myself come with the chapona, they have juninglo, they have the drums, and I started, okay, what are these? And was never really interested in Juning, Duwadingana. And so I went to California, came to home. Home is Wisconsin, Minnesota. And I have a really, really dear cousin who is and her parents were in town as well too. And Gumushai go for them to do a reading on me. And I've been experiencing a lot of sadness, a lot of koshia, depression, and I've been experiencing. I was, as Kelly mentioned, I lived out in the East Coast at this time for the last 13 years. I was very fearless. One of those like daughters where my mom would call me Danielle, right? Like always traveling. And for the last couple of years, I would be in deep depression. I will visit my parents in Wisconsin, Minnesota here, and then we'll go back home the East Coast, and I will cry for many, many weeks. I will listen to Nyajoteng because Nyajoteng is Nelusho Jolinkuniana, and so I will listen to her nonstop, and her stories are really deep and very traumatic. But then I needed to hear my mom's voice. So I did that for 4 years. I'm like, okay, maybe that's normal. It got to a point where it really impacted my work life, impacted my personal relationships. And I went to my cousin and her parents, and they diagnosed, or they had to go there and go because my spirit guides are looking for a home. They need a home, and home is what considered an altar. And I'm like, really? Like, how do I do that? So it all started in 2019, and I ended up moving to Minnesota because I wanted to be near my community and my family in the fall of 2019. And then COVID hit, and then that's when things kind of went downhill. And that's how I met John in the summer of 2020. And he was one of my mentors. So that's how it all started.
Yeah, I always find it really interesting on like how each individual kind of know like when it's their time, right? Like having that like spiritual awakening or like daning orokoneya to like oroko koshia and stuff. So it's always so interesting to hear other people's story. But and in this next topic or question, obviously like it's not your typical like shamanism traditional waneng. So I do want you guys to each kind of talk a little bit about like what is energy healing to you and how does it help people, but kind of talk about it in a with the perspective and lens of like your expertise of what it is that you practice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can go first. So energy healing is generating bioelectricity from your body and channeling it to heal others. So bioelectricity is basically life force, right? And we need life force to stay alive. It's kind of like, when you eat food, it converts into life force, bioelectricity to keep your body running, to keep you alive. So that's what energy healing is. Energy healing is helping when you have an imbalance in your body, you could get sick from it. You can that sickness can fall into like a form of depression or disease or some type of sickness in your body, right? When your energy is not in balance in your body. And as a practitioner, what we do is we help balance that energy flow in your body, clear any blockages. A lot of people who are depressed, stressed out, we can clear the energy field. We can sweep away the negative energy from that person. So my form of energy healing is different from Nancy. Reiki is basically a Japanese form of energy healing, but I like to just call myself a Kui energy healer because my techniques are different. It's more Tai Chi, martial arts movement, and I incorporate shamanic healing, blessing with sound healing when I do energy healing. So the outcome is always similar, very similar, but depending on what we do, like my energy healing is also fixing physical and spiritual, where some people come to me for help, where I help open the third eye, I help bring down spiritual messages to their body, to them. So there's different types of energy healing, and I work a lot. When you generate energy, you have to generate energy from a certain source, right? It could be from nature, from the universe, from the stars. So I focus mostly on the stars, the divine light, to come through me to channel into that person. So that's how I do energy healing. And also, my energy healing is a form of empowerment, cleansing, and just releasing negative energy from that person's body.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you, John. Very similar practice as well. And I'll share, I've really focused on the seven chakras. So I do remote sessions. I was taught and trained by a master Reiki healer, and she has taught me to do over the phone or through text, and it's been very wonderful. I've worked with clients and they receive the benefits of that. Typically, Reiki is done in person on a massage table. But because of the COVID and making sure that my clients and myself were all safe, I've been taught the remote and distant. But yeah, so if I am doing remotely, I will be in front of a guru, an altar, and I will have a pillow that represents the body. And I will send Reiki healing energy to the seven chakras. And so the seven chakras are the crown, the third eye, your throat, your heart, which I'm really drawn to. When I work on a client, I go straight to my hands are always on the heart chakra because I feel like the Ninginyo Shia Manju is always stuck in there. And so I will lay I had my selenite here with me, my healing stone. I will lay that on their heart. And I work with all ages. And then there's right under your chest, above your belly button is the sacral, and under the belly button is the solar plexus. Oh, I always get those sacral and solar plexus. And then your tailbone is your root chakra, and root chakra is another chakra that I'm very drawn to, and I mainly work with the knees and the feet to work with the root chakras, and that's the root chakra. The knees and the feet is when I get a lot of messages for my clients, so I'm usually there a lot of the times. But again, like John mentioned, is to balance all the energy up and down, head to toe in your body. Many of them, I smudge the body before I send Reiki or I give Reiki to purify the room that I'm in, or also to purify myself too. So I sage myself, the Guying sage, it's a way of just to purify the energy, and then I lock it at the end of the session. Yeah, so it's a way to unblock unwanted energy, and to help my clients release what is not unwanted.
So I remember 3 years ago, and Olivia and I and some friends actually went to go see John. And I think that was the first time that I heard about energy healing. And so two of our friends, where I don't know if treated is a word, but John like did that on them. And I remember I was nervous too, because I didn't really know anything about it. And I was like, I don't know what this is getting ourselves into. And I don't want to open up anything crazy. But I do remember them just saying that, it was like a tingling feeling. And so, like if you are getting like, if you're being healed through this, I guess, like how often should you be getting this? Is this like you go one time, you're done, you're good, you're healed? Or is this something kind of like meditation where maybe it's like a weekly or a monthly or like a lifetime kind of incorporation into your healing process?
Yeah, that's a good question. So you have to gauge yourself. So a lot of people, if you're feeling stress, feeling lack of energy, maybe a lot of negative energy, or maybe you're feeling really angry or frustrated easily, then that means that you probably have a lot of negative energy that you need to cleanse and release. Some people, depending on what type of sickness, they can require multiple sessions on a daily session. Like I've healed someone from out of state who had cancer, and I was there for 1 week doing 2 sessions a day, morning and nighttime. So it really depends on what type of symptoms you're having. If it's just like a basic balance and cleansing, it could just be like maybe once a month. And then I try to teach them how to balance their own energy too. So it's kind of like you could heal yourself. They call it process of Qigong, where you can generate your own energy to heal your own body, right? And that takes time to learn, but I try to teach people how to maintain that energy after I heal them too. So it really depends on what those situation is to determine how often they need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question. And my clients always ask me that too, how often. And I don't give, I tell them that their body, their intuition will let them know when you need motivation, or you're feeling stressed out, or just need there's just something bothering you. And please feel free to reach out. I've got clients who's coming once a month. I've got clients who are coming like every other week, and it all depends on what they need. And so their body, listen to their body. I encourage my clients to do that.
Yeah. Callie, I want to take Sophia Moa's question. I think that's an excellent question she asked. It says, energy works both ways from the healer and the individual person. Have you ever experienced the absorption of negative energy from the client, and how do you then release it?
Yes. So for me, you can absorb other energies as an empath, like how Nancy mentioned. When you're around a big crowd or when you're around negative people, you will come home and you will feel tired. You will feel off, like you're not yourself anymore. And there's different ways where you can also build like a protection aura against you, where you can go to places like funerals, cemeteries, out maybe like wooded areas and stuff like that, and protect yourself from all these different negative energies too. So that is true that it's kind of like you have to learn how to cleanse and sweep away that negative energy. I mean, this energy is invisible to the eye, but so people will not know when to cleanse themselves unless you have to be able to feel it. It's like an emotion that you feel. You know when you feel off. I mean, I think we all have that type of feeling. And when you feel off, when you don't feel like yourself no more, that's when you need to ground yourself. And when I say ground, meaning you can meditate to release that negative energy. You can walk in nature, maybe be in the sunlight, moonlight, to kind of cleanse that negative energy off. So it's important to know how to cleanse yourself, how to ground yourself. Else you'll accumulate so much negative energy that it can eventually draw negative entities, like negative spirits towards you. It can make you feel off, like I said, make you have negative thoughts.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you, John. For me, it's really important. Each time I go into the Reiki, giving Reiki, I smudge my room or my studio, and I smudge the client. I also smudge myself before and after. So that is to really protect my client, also protect myself. When I feel that I have absorbed some negative energy, I take walks. I go to nature. To feel grounded, I take walks by the lakes and just be out with nature. I also meditate, or I will cut cords, cut my chakras, meaning all the different chakras that I mentioned earlier. I will meditate and physically cut the chakras until I feel better. So great question, Sophia.
All right, Callie, do we want to move on to the next one? Okay. So if someone wants to kind of get into this energy healing, like where do they start? Because obviously this is the first time that, again, Callie and I first heard of energy healing when we met John 3 years ago. And so there's not a lot of like Hmong people out there who is talking about this kind of stuff. And so where can people go if this is something that they're interested in? Because it's not your typical like traditional Hmong shamanism route,
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about this. So, I mean, there's a lot of Reiki master teachers that can teach you. There's a lot of courses online you can take, or in-person courses that you can learn. YouTube, you can YouTube it, learn about it. But first, you have to understand all the basic, all the different chakra energy channels, energy meridians in the body where you can heal. But for me, I think in order, you have to be able to generate chi energy, right? And to generate chi energy comes through different exercises, activities such as meditation, yoga, tai chi, qigong. Like there's different activities that can help improve, increase your chi energy flow in your body. And when you have that energy, then you can kind of channel, transfer that to heal other people. But also, you have to be gifted for that too, because some people I know people who try to be energy healers but they can't seem to heal. It's like a talent where you're born with, right? If you're born with that talent, that gift, then it comes more natural and you can heal more natural, and more effective. Just like anything else, some people are born to be athletic, to be smart, and it comes more natural to them once they start working on it. So you have to kind of gauge yourself too. And I found myself through meditation. Like I meditated for 6 months straight, and every day, maybe I missed like 2 days, but I only knew that I can heal because I activated a energy channel in my body. They call it Kundalini, right? It's like a energy flow where it goes through your back, your spine. Like my hands would feel like it's on fire, and I thought there was something wrong with my body. I'll be up late, like 12 in the morning, and I would feel like it's like an adrenaline rush where, you feel electrified. So, I did research to see what that was, all those symptoms and everything. And, they call it Kundalini Awakening. It's more like an Indian term. And I didn't know I could heal till like a year later. Like I've had dreams of healing people with my hand, but I never tried it until, I had friends who were sick, and, they told me that they know I can heal. And that's when I started doing healing. And it takes practice. You got to practice to get good at it. It takes time. I'd say hours, like hundreds of hours, to really be good at it, to be effective at it, and to continue to work on your chi energy. So, there's different levels of chi energy, and it's just not that once you have that chi, then, you can start healing. But your energy will become stronger the more you practice, the more you work on your chi energy. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, very true what John said. It's practice makes perfect. And that's why I don't call myself a Reiki healer. I call myself as a Reiki energy healing practitioner, because we are still learning. I'm still learning from my clients. When I work on a client, I still amaze myself, like, oh my goodness, or oh my gosh, this came up. I didn't know I could do that. Or this is how my clients felt. Oh my goodness. And so it is practice, but I also recommend folks who wants to really go into follow other healers. If they resonate with you, healing, there's different modalities, different methods. And if whatever resonates with you, follow that. If you resonate with me or John or different other healers, follow them, listen to them. Some of our colleagues or our friends who are healers, they have live readings, they go they have live shows. And so listen to them. And it's really important that you resonate with them. The energy from like, for example, Andrew, from here that we are all talking, like, do you resonate with that? Does your body like what we're saying? And so make sure that you are in tune with the healers and the type of healing methods.
I just feel like the energy, like as you guys are talking about that, I was thinking about how, like when you think about medical doctors, how they have kind of like procedures on certain, like illnesses and whatnot, right? But then every body is kind of different, or like every incident, whether it's an accident and there's a cut, like it's all very different. And so until you actually get into that, I'm assuming like that energy, it's hard to know like how you would even deal with it. And everybody has such complex energy and feelings, and all of that intermingled together is probably sort of, like how you're saying you're a practitioner, because it's so dependent on, what that person, whoever you're trying to heal, what kind of trauma, what kind of things that they have dealt with in the past, and what they're bringing to the table, and also what they're able to like open up to, right? I think a lot of it is so much like, as like a person trying to be healed, like like sometimes you want to be healed, but then you're also like closed off to that healing just because you're not quite ready for it yet. So this is going to show such the superstitious side of me. So as healers, do you feel like you're more vulnerable to like just, you know, like just more vulnerable to different types of things that, I don't know, can come after you or something? Does that kind of make sense what I'm asking?
Are you talking about like spirits and bad energy?
Yeah.
I can talk on that. I actually feel stronger. Like I used to be scared of ghosts before I became spiritual, but once I became spiritual or shaman, like you understand uh, the flow of life, spirits, energy. Everything is all made of energy. The universe, everything. So if you can feel the spirit and see the spirit, then you can protect yourself and fight back. And there's different ways where you can protect yourself. So like now, like I could just go anywhere and I can meditate out in the woods at night and not be scared. You know, I can hear stuff. If I see a ghost, demon, like I wouldn't be scared. Yeah. So it's kind of like, you know, you become to a certain point where you feel spiritually strong, and you have all your protection and all your, they say Tzu right? And Mon, meaning your spiritual gifts that you can fight and protect yourself. So to me, yeah, I feel stronger since I've been spiritual. But I do understand where you're coming from. A lot of shamans, they're still very scared of spirits, you know, and when they see spirits, they get frightened. I think for me, it's the opposite, where I feel a lot stronger now, where I feel protected.
Yeah.
Yes, that protection is just very key for those who are rising or awakening. Ying and Chai, I totally understand at a moment for so many years, Ying Mo King Chai, you feel like someone is behind you, looking at you or following you. I have those moments. And when I started channeling into my own spiritual path and learning my own truth and my gifts, um, I became very comfortable. When when I'm working on my clients, I do see more they're not, to me, I don't see them as da bansong. I see them as like Frankenstein or like cartoon. If I see an animal that looks like a cartoon, yeah, I know that that's a spirit. And I would ask them, demand them, like, show me who you are. And then most of the time it's a family, a spirit of a family who has passed away. So it's Ni Jin Chai. It's yeah, and protection is so key. There's colors that people wear. I use crystal healing stones, and I wear them. I have them with me at my altar. I have protection around my house. There's different techniques that your guides will come and share with you. Basically, and that's, to me, that's your guides teaching you, showing you how to protect your house or what to say. So for those who are rising gift healers.
Yeah. So we do have a couple of great questions from our viewers. So we're going to go ahead and take a pause first, Callie. Her says, well, she did say, hi, Nancy. A question for both of you. Can you speak a bit to the connection between energy and depression if you feel you have the knowledge? Thanks.
Yeah, I can speak on that. I wouldn't say energy have any correlation with depression. Depression is more mental wellness. And a lot of times depression could be spiritual related, where you can get sick, you can feel depressed because there's certain entities that's making you feel like that. You know, some people, they get to the point where they're so depressed that they feel that, and then committing suicide would be the answer. And a lot of times you have these negative thoughts because you have these negative evil spirits that's trying to tap into you, because our body is just a vehicle, and our spirit is a driver. So think of it as, we're driving a car, right? And other people can get into a car and just drive our car too. And when other spirits do that, then they take over the way we think, and they can put a lot of negative thoughts into our minds. That's why you see people who have no background of any criminal record, and they're out there one day they snap and they start doing this mass killing and things like that. So that's a spiritual side to look at it. But if you look at it the medical side, they're going to tell you that psychologically that person has mental issues, that they need to take medication, or they need to learn how to take care of their mental wellness. So there's different techniques that you can use. Medication, you can have techniques to the holistic way to heal through different methods such as meditation, mindfulness practice, spiritual healing. So back to the question about depression, I'd say that's more of a mental wellness where you have to master yourself, master your mind to block out any of the negative stuff, negative feelings, and you have to know how to really uplift yourself through different modalities such as self-affirmation, self-love, certain practices that can help you feel better and release that negative energy.
Yeah, I can share a little bit more. Thank you, Pa, for that question. Makes me think about when I was in my awakening journey a few years ago, and I do feel like you ying mo mo ko ko she hei ya, you do she hei na. And there are moments where like you just want to leave the world. Like I can understand why people to Kenya, commit suicide. Like and yeah, yep, that I've had moments like that, and I totally understand. And so now that I'm reflecting on it, my guides, it's my spirit guides coming to tell me that they're ready for me to they are ready for me to take them or be home with them, be one with them. There you go, be one with them. And ever since I've accepted my gifts now, I was able to alter so it's been a very I'm in a very good space at this moment. So yeah, thank you for your question, Pa.
All right, Kelly, do we want to do another audience question? Okay. Let's do Gatos. And Gato asks, can you talk about how do we open up our intuition, higher self?
Yeah. So the key would be your third eye. Your third eye is the gateway to the spiritual world, to the universe. So if you want to get more intuition, find your higher self, be the best version of yourself, meditate, focus on opening your third eye. Because once you can do that, you can tap into the law of attraction, right? You can learn how to manifest. You can connect with your spiritual guides because your third eye is open. So I recommend meditation, working. There's different ways to open your third eye. A lot of times, and there's different types of meditation too. So I would focus on more energy meditation and really focus that energy around your forehead, because when you do that, you'll start to feel pressure in your forehead. You'll start to see different visions, vivid lights and stuff. So that's how you know you're making progress. When you start to have these little migraines, pressure in your forehead, that's how you know your third eye is open. And one thing about myself, like I feel like I can feel the aura on my forehead. That's how my third eye. That's how I know my third eye is open. And it's almost like there's air coming out of my forehead, right? So when you can feel like that and have that strong energy around your head, then you know your third eye is open. It's kind of like when you look at some images of Buddha, right? They have this little circle around their head. That's the third eye. That's the crown chakra. That's when it's open. So my recommendation is meditation, and be consistent too. A lot of people, they're not consistent with meditation. They do like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, maybe once a week or 2 weeks, and you're not going to see results that way. You have to be consistent. If you can do it every day, 15 minutes to like 1 hour, go for it. for me, like I've done meditation for like a couple hours sometimes, so it really depends on how I feel, what I'm focused on. But when I first started, I was doing at least 1 to 2 hours. So it's not easy. It takes time. So you got to just keep trying.
Yeah.
That question makes me think about ego. Ego is it's almost our worst enemy, y'all. Ego, meaning when I think of ego, I think of ego bao and true in your heart. That's shikalu ego. Kalu sure. A voice in your head is, no, that's not true, Nancy. Oh, it's giving you like really negative thoughts about, my gosh, Nancy, or Nancy, that's not it. It's always second guessing yourself. So when you find yourself in that, that is your ego talking. But if you are naturally drawn to an answer, naturally, picking this color, always, that is your intuition. That is always, to open this door, which door, A or B? If you say A, always start with that first letter that comes to your mind. So yeah, ego is just something that I'm still working on it, but it's really important to tame that ego. And one of my mentors, Angela Moore, has really helped me taught how to decide which is ego or which is my natural intuition. And when it's your intuition, it feels right. Yeah, it feels right. You don't have to second guess it. And get you more then that's your intuition. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for answering that. I think we can go on to the next one, Kelly.
Okay. All right. So let's move into shamanism a little bit. So, the only kind of shamans that I really have been exposed to is like my grandpa and my grandma, who actually growing up, we were traditional. And so those are what I've seen. And I do feel like there is this new generation shaman who doesn't necessarily wanting that. And so, just from y'all's perspective, and especially John, I know you do some of that shaman work. And so how does this generation of shamans differ? And, why is there, I guess, like a need for how that is changing in this landscape?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think the new age, new generation are more, meaning you can heal and have the same healing effects versus like someone who were to sit on a bench or name. Like I use my energy to heal in different methods to heal both the physical and spiritual, and without having to all name. But you all name when you have to do deeper stuff to really fix the spirit side. But in terms of if it's just healing for like a sickness or to help a person, empower a person, then that can be done through just many different ways, through your voice, through energy, through sound healing. So a lot of new generation, they don't understand. What they don't understand is that there's different ways that you can heal. You don't have to sit on a bench only to heal people. A lot of frontline workers, a lot of people are already using their gifts and they just don't know. So it could be leadership, it could be your kindness, your love, anything that you can do to help someone. That's a form of healing. So with the new generation, the way we heal is a little different, and also there's more spirit guides, types of spirit guides that the new generation has versus the old generation. So the old generation, usually they just have the shamanic and thunder god guides, meaning Ning Tzu Jing Zigong and Ning Fang, right? So those are, if you wear a black veil and red veil, those are usually Ning Sa and Ning Tzu Jing Zigong, like those are the shamanic ancestors. So, but with the new generation, you have many different guides. You can have Buddhist guides, you can have dragons, angels, thunder god, just so many different. It could be animal spirit guides and stuff like that too. So with the new generation, you have more types of spirit guides and more different modalities that you can heal versus just sitting on a bench. So that's the difference between the old and new. And like I said, it doesn't matter how you heal, the outcome is still going to be the same. So that's what you want to focus on. I know there's a lot of discrimination about old and new. It doesn't matter. As long as you're doing something good with good intention and you're healing somebody, that's all that matters, the outcome.
Yeah, and I love what John said. Is the intention behind it. So go your the healer that you go speak to, that's their power, that is their specialty, and it's all good intentions behind it. Whether you use itu ning su jing la ya itu ning the red one. What is the red call again?
Ning Sa.
Ning Sa, yeah, and then Ning. So there's three types. Yeah, Ning Zizheng is the black veil. Ning Sa is the red veil, and then the white is Ning Shao. And I just learned that I will be practicing the Ning Shao. And I'm very drawn to white, and so when I heal, I wear the white, and hence I'm wearing white today. And so it's all behind the intention. And another thing I want to add to what John shared too is like we have different types of illness. It's a new generation as well. And I've had a client that she came to me to look, for energy healing. But my guides did say that she would work better if she worked with Itue Nuaning Sujing, wearing the black veil. So I was able to support her and find her a healer who practiced that type of shaman healing ritual. So it's almost like you are referring to another healer. So I love that.
That's interesting that you brought up the three. Callie, we may need to have another episode with them talking about like the difference between the three different types, because I've only seen the one with the red, because my uncle's a shaman, my father-in-law's a shaman, and I think that they they have the red, but I could be wrong, because either that or they have the black and they're the I don't know, I don't remember. But
yeah,
it's interesting that you said that. I didn't know that.
And some they practice both as well too, depending on if it's lineage here inherited or taught. And so they're local paths. My grandpa practiced the black Ning Zujing. And then here I'm going to practice the white Ning Shao.
Yeah, and it also depends on what type of healing you're doing too. If you're doing like a deep spiritual where you got to go to the underworld, then you have to wear a black veil to do that type of healing. If you're just doing something to get rid of evil and stuff like that, you can wear white or red. Some people they wear all colors. Some people they don't wear anything. So you just kind of follow your intuition on what your spirit guides are teaching you, and that's the way to heal. That's the best way to heal, is to follow your heart, follow your intuition.
All such interesting stuff that I'm learning today.
I'm happy to hear that.
I know. I did want to share a little bit, John, when you were talking earlier about like it doesn't matter, it's all with good intention and same outcome. I want to kind of pair that with what you said earlier before too about like how you'll need it, because there's like different energy that just makes you like angry or frustrated more easily. I have seen in situations where my father-in-law would go and morning na, because a lot of times like I would always ask like, oh, good morning, watching that, right? Like what's the purpose behind it or reasoning? And sometimes it's simple thing is like, oh, because there's this negative energy that makes them so short-tempered that and I just never knew that. Like I just always felt like you do it because like or like maybe they like lost their spirit somewhere or something like traumatic has happened to them, right? I've never heard of like the energy piece or that like where they're just like attracting like bad things and they're just short with each other and they're argumentative and things like that. So I found when you said that really resonated with me, because my father-in-law, there's been a couple of times where he's like, oh, people are just not, they're always arguing or something's happening with their family and they're really just so I gotta go do it. So I do agree with you that the outcome is the same. The intention is the same. It's just how we heal is a little different with the different practices. So it's all coming full circle for me. Okay. So this next question, obviously we both know you guys are busy individuals outside of practicing, your healing. So can you guys just share a little bit more about what you do outside of that?
Yeah, I can share a little bit. So outside of my spiritual healing, I run a business too. I'm also active in the community, being a board chair for the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce and other organizations. So, that alone is a full-time job. I mean, I don't get paid to do my community service, but I put in just as much effort as I would with my business because if my name is on the paper, I want to make sure that I put 110% into it. So I want to deliver to the community if I make a commitment. So I've been busy with that, and also with the military, I'm constantly training with that. I'm supposed to get deployed this year too. So just trying to balance everything. This comes down to balance again. Like I don't want to overwork myself too. I have to find some time to kind of heal and ground myself as well with everything, all the work that I take on. So yeah, I mean, it's really busy for me. Like every day I have meetings and weekends. Sometimes I don't even go out. I'm working on weekends. So I saw Chai posting. So, we're Hmong hustlers, right? So you gotta hustle, and balance yourself.
I hear you, John. Yes, balance is key. If you find the secret, please let me know. I have a 9-to-5 job. I work with a nonprofit, as Kelly mentioned before. I support small business and startups and clients, and so community organizer. And then in the evening, that's where I have my practice. Wednesdays, I open on Wednesdays night, and then also on Sundays that folks can come to my studio just to accommodate my work schedule and my family. And I'm also a small business owner as well. And I'm also a writer too. And it's you got to balance all that along with family. And so yeah, and I'm also been really busy with John as well too. John and I'm also part of the Minnesota Hmong Chamber, and we have a big expo that's coming up May 14 for AAPI Small Business Expo. And when he said a lot of phone calls, a lot of texting back and forth, that's us in meetings.
That's great. Thank you for both for your, just the work that y'all do. Community work is definitely hard work, and there's a lot behind the scenes, even though sometimes people might just feel like it's just, like ochocho, but it's like the ochocho is like all evening long, trying to get in touch with different people and meetings and all those things take time. I want to circle back on like there's a question here that I want us to kind of talk about real quick, if y'all don't mind. So this one is from Gat Tall, and she asked, can you touch on fee for services? Should shaman charge or take donation? I was told that Kwaneng only needs joss paper and incense in exchange for a service back then. Nowadays, I see people using it as a business. I feel helping people should come out from our pure heart for free, because without Kwaneng, shaman aren't shamans. Thanks.
Yeah, great question. So for me personally, I don't charge because, and I have a lot of friends who charge too, and for their time and for the respect for their spiritual guides. But just speaking upon myself, I don't charge because that's what my Kone makes me feel. I follow my intuition, and when I was looking for help, people wanted a lot of money, and I told myself that if I was ever to be a healer, a light worker, that I would not charge. And I've never taken any donation, charge, any fee. And I feel that when you don't charge, you have more of a pure intention, where I'm not healing you because it's based on time that you're paying me to do like a 1-hour session on you. I'm healing you through pure intentions, through my heart, that, I'm going to put in my time, hour of my time to heal you. And I feel that gratitude and intention builds good karma. And I don't charge, also because I know that the karma will come back to me, right? You're doing something good for someone who is in need, who, for the less fortunate, and that karma, just like the law of attraction, it's going to come back to you in different ways, right? It can maybe come back to you to help you in life, work, education, business. So I see that happening, and that's why, I do what I do. It's really to build good karma, good deed, and just to kind of help the less fortunate.
Beautifully said, John. I love it. For me, I go back and forth about that. I know that those who needs the most may not be afforded. Yeah, a mutar like mutaring, maybe mong khai na you mutali ya. And putonya li ya yon da sha la ya yo tin khai soon. So great question, Ka. For me, I asked my guides on this, and they. I do pay as you can. Pay as you can, and my range is from $25 to $81. And so those are the numbers. And so it's very, very minimal. And so it's a way to a lot of y'all, and just so that you understand, different healers, they have different like expectations how to compensate like your corner. And so it's very different from each healer. So the to healer now, let them know, ask them, and so and don't feel uncomfortable asking that. Most of the healers, they understand, and it's okay with that. So yeah, it's a lot. It's more compensating. Too. So thank you for asking.
Thank you for addressing that. And then, so we are, past the hour. So I just want to give y'all the chance to say any last words, and anything about, what you do, inside, outside healing. And then also for those who are looking to connect with you, what is the best way?
Yeah, one thing I wanted to mention too is that, it doesn't matter what religion you are, tapping into spiritual guides and healing, that's all part of the process. I was born Catholic, I was baptized, but now I don't consider myself religious. I consider myself spiritual, where I go to church, I go to temples, I learn a little bit of everything, because a lot of these religions, they teach love and light. So I hope that our Hmong community can be more open-minded, because Jesus was spiritually gifted too, and he was a healer. So I think going forward, we want to be open-minded, and just know that, hey, it doesn't matter what religion you are, you can heal. You have everyone is special and unique in certain ways where you can heal, help others. And to close it off, if you want to contact me, I'm on Facebook, John B. Yang. I also have a Facebook page where I teach. It's called Kui of Light. So if you search on Facebook, you'll find me there. If anyone needs any help, reach out to me, because I do a lot of stuff in terms of meditation, teaching mental wellness, stuff like that too. So if anyone has any questions, reach out to me. I mean, we're just kind of touching the basics, but there's so much details that I can talk about, and when it comes to spiritual healing and stuff like that. So that's all I have, and I appreciate Gali and Olivia for having us on the show. I hope that we can help bring some insights to the community in terms of energy healing.
Yeah, and to add, having spirit gifts does not discriminate. If you have it, you have it, and it's a matter of what to do with it, right? And so a lot of friends are reaching out, sharing their lived experience with me, just to really. I've been the listening ears, as John has been to me when I started my journey, and many times that has really helped my friends or my clients, and it does not discriminate. And if you find yourself questioning, right, please reach out to myself or John. I'm on Facebook. I also have a website where you can learn more about my practice, nancyxiong.com. I also have a Facebook, Hono Bono Healing, and that's where I post a lot of my adventures of Reiki. And then I also have my Facebook, Nancy Xiong, too. So yeah, please reach out if you feel resonated. If you resonate with me or John, please reach out. We'd love to support your path if you have any questions. Thank you. And thanks, Kali and Olivia, for giving us this platform to share more about energy healing, and best wishes to you all.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And, like John said, we are really just like barely nipping the cusp of, this whole topic. And so, but hopefully tonight's conversation really gives everybody, just a dim a little bit more light into this, to, if this resonates with you, to look into it. Again, disclaimer that, we are not saying that we completely back John and Nancy up, and we're not, saying that they're going to heal you in every sort of way. But definitely something that if it's something that you find that you're needing, to reach out to them and see what more you can get from this, and this is something that can help you in your healing journey. And thank you everyone for being on with us tonight. Of course, here all that talk, we believe that conversations drive change, and change starts with you. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.